Hello and welcome, my dear grade 9 elite math students, to today's session. Today's video is one of the most requested video on my channel, and that makes it a must-watch video. Please make sure you watch the video till the end to understand Part 3, Learning Objective 22 well, and to learn how to sketch the graphs using the key features. So I welcome you to today's session, wishing you all the very best for your coming math exams. So let's get started. So let's solve these questions from Learning Objective 21, where you need to use the key features for each function to sketch its graph. Now, if you see in question 1 and question 2 that we are solving on this slide, we are given some key features like the x-intercept, the y-intercept, the linearity of the graph, the continuity of the graph, when the graph is positive, when the graph is increasing, and finally the end behavior. So this all information will be given to you in the exam in part 3, where it is pen and paper based exam. So you have to show your steps, you have to show your working, and you have to sketch or you have to draw your graph using this information. So let me show you in today's video how to do that. So the first thing we are going to use is the x-intercept. X-intercept means the point where the graph is touching the x-axis. So we will go ahead and plot the x and y-intercept. That is step 1. So let's go to our x-axis and to the point 2, 0. It is this point, as you see. So we are going to put a dot there, and then we'll plot the y-intercept. Y-intercept is occurring at the negative side of y, that is at -6. So the graph touches the y-axis at the point 0, -6. So I'm going to put another dot at this point. Now we are going to join these 2 points. Now given that the graph is linear, we know the graph is going to be a straight line. So I'm now going to join these 2 x and y intercept, the 2 points that we have marked, using a straight line. Now I don't have a ruler, but in your ministry exam, please use a ruler so that you get a perfect straight line. So I'm just drawing a line from this point to this point, and then I'm extending this line. Why I'm extending this line? Because you know a straight line is infinite, it goes in both directions. Now this doesn't look like a perfect straight line, but please use a ruler in your exam. And now let's check whether this graph is having other points too. So definitely the graph is a straight line or linear, it is continuous, it is positive for values x more than 2. So on the right side where x is becoming more than 2, like x equal to 3, 4, 6, it is above the x-axis. So definitely it is positive. This is true. This is an increasing graph for all values of x. It's quite clear. And let's check whether the end behavior is true or not. As x goes to infinity, fx goes to infinity. That means on the right side of the x-axis, the graph is going up. So yes, this is true. Similarly, as x goes to minus infinity, that is the negative side, fx goes to negative side, negative infinity. So it comes down. So that means our graph is correct. This is the correct answer or the correct sketch of the graph for question 1. Let's similarly do question 2. So here the x and y intercept are given. So we are going to plot that point. Both FUC are equal. That is the origin. So only one point. Now the graph is going to be linear. So it is going to pass through this point and it will be a straight line. It's going to be continuous, so it will not have any break. It is positive for values of x less than 0. That means when x is becoming negative, the graph is positive. So where it should go, up or down? Definitely it's going to go up. So I'm going to pass it like a straight line from here. Why did I make it up? Because it is given that the graph is going to be positive for x less than 0, or when x is negative side. I hope you know the negative side of x-axis is this left side, and this is the right side, which is positive. So on the negative side it is positive, so it's going to be above the x-axis, and the graph is going to be negative for x positive. So on the other side it is going to come down like this. As you see, it's a decreasing graph for all values of x, so this is true. Let's check for end behavior. When x goes to infinity means x goes on the right side, fx is going on the negative side means it's coming down, so this is correct. And when x goes to minus infinity, fx is going to plus infinity. So on the negative side of x-axis, the graph goes up. So this is the correct answer. So let's check the answer key for learning objective 22, question 1 and 2. So as you saw in the last slide, this is how we get the correct answer and sketch the graph. Let's proceed with our learning objective and now solve question 3 and 4 in a similar manner. If you see in both the questions, again you are given the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So step 1 would be to mark them. The graphs are going to be again straight lines as it is linear and continuous, so no breaks. So let's do it. So x-intercept means the point on the x-axis. So I will come to the point 5, 0. Y-intercept means on the y-axis 0, 5. Now join them with a straight line. So I join the 2 points and I extend them in both the directions. Let's check. So x-intercept is done, y-intercept is done. It's a straight line linear graph, continuous, and it is positive for x less than 5. So when x is less than 5, you can see the graph is going up. So this is also true. It's a decreasing graph for all x values and you can see that. Let's check for end behavior. As x goes to plus infinity, fx goes to minus infinity. So it is coming down, so which is correct. And as x goes to minus infinity, it goes to plus infinity. So going up, correct. So that's the answer or the graph for question 3. Let's move to answer 4. Here first we do the 2 points of x and y intercept. So x intercept is the point on the x axis. It's going to be this point 5, 0. Y intercept on the y axis 0, 2. So this point. Now it's a linear graph, so we are going to connect it with a straight line. I join the 2 lines. Please use a ruler in your exam so that it's a perfect straight line and then extend. Now check, is the graph positive for x less than 5? So on the left it is above the x-axis, so this is true. It is decreasing, that's definitely true. Let's check for end behavior. As x goes to plus infinity, that means on the right side fx is coming down, so minus infinity. As x goes on the left side, it's going up, so plus infinity. So that means our answers are correct. So now I show you the answer key for question 3 and question 4. So our answers are correct and this is how you sketch the graph using the key features. Now you had solved questions where the graph was linear or straight line. Now we are going to do some questions on non-linear. That means it is going to be a curve or not a straight line. So here if you see there are 2 x-intercepts in question 5. Let's do question 5 first. So we will mark both the points on the x-axis minus 1, 0. So it will be here and 1, 0. So it will be this point. Now on the y-axis the point is 0, 1. So I'm going to plot that point also on the y-axis. So now we have all the 3 points. The graph is going to be continuous, so there will be no break. Now there is one more extra point given here about the symmetry. So symmetry is about x equal to 0. That means the symmetry is about the y-axis. So this y-axis acts as a mirror. That means the graph is going to have left and right symmetry. So this is the equation of x equal to 0 or y-axis. So now we are going to connect these 3 dots with a curve, not a straight line because it is non-linear, in such a way that y-axis is my mirror. So when I do that, let's see. So I'm connecting them with a curve. I join these two and I join these two. Now I have made a curve because I know in the middle, that is your y-axis, is a mirror. So both on the left and right are same. Now the graph is positive for all values of x lying between minus 1 to 1, which is true. So this is already correct. Now we go to the negative part. So when x is less than minus 1, means the left side, the graph has to come down. Why it has to come down? Because it is becoming negative. So this part, and when x is more than this. So this is going to come down. So both sides it's coming down. And now let's check increasing and decreasing. Increasing for x less than 0. So when x is less than 0, you can see the graph is going up. I will make a marking with a different color. So from this to this, it is increasing. From this to this, it is decreasing. So these 2 points are also true. Now extrema means the maximum. It is at 0, 1. You can see this is the highest point on the graph. So this is also true. And now let's talk about end behavior. So as x goes to infinity means the right side, if x goes to minus infinity, it is coming down. So this is correct. And as x goes to minus infinity means left side, fx is going to minus infinity. So this is our correct graph. And as you see, it's the shape of a parabola. So it's a curve which is non-linear. Let's now do question 6 also. So here the graph is going to be uh, having the 3 points as the intercepts. Let's mark them first. So minus 3 comma 0 is going to be here on the x-axis. 2 comma 0 is going to be here. 0 comma minus 4 is going to be here. So first we mark the points. We are done. We know it's non-linear, so it's going to be a curve which is going to be continuous. Now when is the graph positive? For x less than minus 3 and x more than 2. So x more than 2 means this side, so it is going to come up, and x less than 3 means this side, it's going to go up. So I know this side it is above the x-axis because it's positive. However, the graph is going to be negative in between minus 3 and minus 2. So in between this part, these three parts, now I'm changing color just to show you the negative part. I will join this point, and this point. It is below the x-axis, as you see, negative for minus 3 to 0. So here when we connect, it's going to be below. So this is how the graph will come about. Let's check increasing for all x positive. So when x is more than this, from this to this it is going up, so increasing. Decreasing for x less than 0, so yes, that is also true. Minima at 0 comma minus 4, as you can see, this is a minimum point now, lowest point, and end behavior is also true. So our graph is correct, and this is how you sketch the graph for answer 6, non-linear. So let's now check the answer key for our learning objective 22, question 5 and question 6, and definitely our answers are correct. This is how you use the key features to sketch the graph. Let's now do the last two questions of this learning objective, that is question 7 and 8. In question 7 you have a linear graph, so again it's going to be pretty simple with a straight line. Let's mark the x and y intercept. On the x-axis the point is 1 comma 0, so it's going to be this point. Draw a dot here. The y-intercept is going to be 0 comma minus 1, so draw another dot here. Connect the 2 points with a straight line. Extend in both directions, so this is going to be your linear graph. Okay, it's going to be continuous, as you see, no break. It's positive for values x more than 1, it's up, and it is an increasing function. Even the end behavior is true. So this is your graph for 7. Let's do the last question, that is 8. Here the graph is going to be non-linear. So first we are going to plot the 3 points of the x and y intercept and then connect them. So minus 2 comma 0 on the x-axis is going to be here, 2 comma 0 is going to be here, and 0 comma minus 1 is going to be here on the y-axis. The graph is going to be continuous and it is symmetric about the y-axis. That means y-axis or x equal to 0 acts as a mirror in between. Now the graph is given to be positive for x less than minus 2 and x more than 2. So for these two parts, x more than 2 it's above, and for x less than 2 minus 2 it is above. So this is done, and it's negative in between minus 2 and 2. So these 2 points will be connected in this way. It will be below the x-axis because between minus 2 to 2 it is negative. Increasing for all values of x more than 0. So if you see from this point to this point, it's increasing, and from less than 0 on the negative side, it is decreasing. Minimum is attained at the point 0 comma minus 1, that's the lowest point. And if you check for end behavior on the left side, fx is going up, so it is positive, and on the right side where x is positive, fx is also positive. So yes, this is the parabola and correct graph for answer 8. The answer key for the last two questions 7 and 8 on learning objective 22 is the following. If you observe, question 7 has a graph which is linear and question 8 has a graph which is non-linear or parabola. Brings us to the end of today's video, which was based on part 3 learning objective 22. I hope you found the video useful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to the channel, and share this video as much as you can with your grade 10 elite friends who are going to give the exam very soon on 12th of June. So all the very best, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.